This show contains views and opinions that may not be suitable for certain audiences. Listener discretion is strongly advised. A friendly reminder, Mary Jane edibles are not a substitute for actually paying your Lyft driver. Don't forget to tip your bartenders, you filthy fucking animals. And if you've got kinks, we've got links. Don't forget to subscribe, put on your seatbelt, and enjoy the ride.
Howdy, 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 everybody, and welcome to Thespian Talk. I am your host, Gomer the Ranting Thespian. With me this week is Michelle.
Hello.
And Scolipendra.
What's up?
And, oh boy, been a couple of weeks, been some time away doing this, doing that, donating plasma, at least on my end, which, you know, it's the procedure itself is a bit uncomfortable, but discomfort is not too bad of a thing. There are things that it could be a lot worse, but there are things that could be a lot better. And at least the plasma center has nice, friendly people, and I kind of have a thing for one of the girls in the back. I refer to her as the penetrating ginger, because, well, she's a ginger and she sticks me most of the time. So.
I thought you meant a different type of penetrating.
No. But then again, I say it like that to get that kind of a reaction, so yeah, mission accomplished.
You know your audience.
Yes. But yeah, so, and the day we're recording this, Blaster Master 03 is finally out. I have not played it yet, because I'm waiting to stream that, and I'm going to be doing that by the time this comes out, unless you're a patron. By the time this comes out and goes public, the stream will have already happened. But yeah, I've been looking so forward to it, and I've been spoiled on like one tiny plot detail. It doesn't, it's like, okay, I don't know the context around it, so I'm not that upset about it. But it's like, ooh boy, this is gonna be interesting. Oh, lordy. So, yeah, how have you been these past couple of weeks, Michelle?
Bad. Pretty chill. I was on holiday last week, so I got my, seeing about being stuck, I got my second dose on Thursday the 15th.
Mm-hmm.
And then because I wasn't sure if I'd have side effects or not, because I was on Moderna.
Yeah.
And everyone said, the second dose of Moderna is the one that knocks you out. So that and the fact that I actually haven't had a proper holiday in about a year.
Yeah.
Which don't feel too bad for me because I work very few hours in the week. So, I chill for most of the day. But sometimes you just need to stop.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 10 days off. Been watching Dario with Erin, which has been a lot of fun. Been doing some various different hobby stuff. Including an attempt at paint pouring, which I've put up in the general. I think it's a little bit blobby, but it's also kind of cool. I mean, I might see what it looks like when it's fully dry.
Yeah, there you go.
But it's only like a 5x5 board, if that big. But yeah, so I thought, well, if I was going to try paint pouring, I might as well try it on a cheap ass kit with some small boards, because paint pouring, I've always liked the look of it. Like, hey, look at people doing it. Some of them look really cool and funky, but one, it looks messy, and a lot of them do it outside, or they have a bigger space to do it.
Yeah. And
yeah, it does actually smell. But two, I don't have anywhere really to hang the finished works.
Yeah.
So it's like I could be making all this artwork and then just like stashing it somewhere. So
yeah,
cool kit. I'll try that.
Yeah, I kind of have a similar problem with some of the perler sprites around. I haven't been making as many because just space and everything. But I've got a bunch from Mel, and I'm running out of places where I can put them on these walls because I've only got push pins, and we have wood paneling walls. Yeah.
What do? Turn them into mobile. Put string on them. Turn them into mobiles, so you have them hang off the ceiling.
That may not be a bad idea, but it would also require me getting up to the ceiling. Ooh, and in some rooms it wouldn't be so bad, but in some rooms it's very difficult, like my office.
Yeah. I mean, you could get help. I don't know, but yeah. No, I mean that's an idea, especially if you've got some like a similar theme.
Yeah.
That would work well together.
Yeah, I've got Mel sent me this big Adventure Island type like sprite that's like I think it's like based on like one of their title screens or whatever, or maybe one of their cutscenes. I don't remember, but it's big and tall, and it's like, where the hell am I gonna put this? I appreciate it, I love it, but where am I gonna put it?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm surprised Mel has all the room in her place for all of her stuff, but then she also has an entire apartment, whereas I have basically 2 rooms. So
Yeah.
now if
more or less a whole thing.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. But now if I had the entire house to myself, that wouldn't be a problem. But yeah.
To be fair, my partner would be like, "Hey, you should put this up." He has said that about some things, like, "Oh, you should put this somewhere." I'm like, I'm not sure where. So he is actually encouraging in that sense, like, you know,
Yeah.
it's like an art piece or something. He will say, "We should find somewhere for this," but you know, we are kind of running out of room.
Yeah. That's a little bit there. Oh. So how have you been the past couple of weeks, Scully?
Been alright. Could be better. There was an incident in a server I'm in where yeah, basically someone got butt hurt. They got banned for being an asshole, and they decided to get some of their friends to raid the server and send members, most of whom are minors, pornographic images.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I mean, good thing we reported those assholes, to Discord, especially since I'm pretty sure some of those images were illegal. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's one of those things. It's like, yeah, minors will inevitably seek out porn on their own, and you have to, and we as adults have to take measures to make it as difficult for them as possible. Partially because morality, partially because legality. You know, you don't want to necessarily. The point is, we're not. You know, we don't want to go around adults just giving porn to kids because, you know, in this case, these guys were just assholes trying to get people in trouble. But there's some that might be like, hey, you're going to look it up. Some adults might be like, hey, you're going to look it up anyway. Here you go. Here's this, you know, and as relatively innocent as you can get. But then you've got the assholes that ruin it and decide, oh, hey, you know what? I'm going to show this to you. Do you like it? Do you like it? Do you want to try it? Do you want to try it? You know, we call them groomers. So.
Wait, can I ask the awkward question?
It was like, they're. God, the reasons they were doing it was like, oh yeah, we don't like your mod team because we think that they're corrupt, so we're going to, send all you people these gross images, and the only way you're gonna get us to stop is if you cave into our demands. And I'm like, nah, we're not negotiating with cyber terrorists. Sorry.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
I was just about to ask, was it like actually images or video links or a bit of both, or was it art, photos? Sorry, these are...
From what I know, I only got sent one thing, and it was just anime gore. Doesn't really bother me that much. I'm like, you know what, I've seen worse. I really wanted to say that to him, but yeah. I just kind of... Yeah, but other people got sent, drawings.
Oh, no.
One word, lolicon.
Woo!
Yeah.
Oh.
Were they sending it to the mod team to say, if you don't do what we want, we're gonna expose the children to this, or are they still actually exposing the children at the same time as, you know, trying to get demands?
Oh, they were just sending it to everyone.
Yeah, and you only got sent gore. They couldn't even send you something good. It's like, if you're gonna spam somebody with free porn, at least make it good.
One of the forums I'm in is like Jake, the guy who runs it, he's confirmed that like he knows some of the people in there are like from 13 years old, because he runs Modest Medusa, which I've talked about before, which is a very sort of fun comic about a little monster girl. So yeah, his Discord he knows that there is some minors in there. So I said to him, have you considered an 18 plus like locked room? He said, well, he doesn't want to encourage that kind of thing. So like, all right, that I can live with. So there have been times when I've like usually I found them on like one of our mutual servers, if I find a silly cartoon or a joke, like if it's just Medusa related, I'll like probably just post that anyway. But it's already sort of a silly joke. Like I saw one that was like a reverse Medusa, which was it like a snake with people hair? That was quite funny. I'll dig it up and show you in a minute. But yeah, if it's like a not like explicitly explicit, but like borderline, I'll like run it past Jake first on DMs. Like, hey, is it cool if I share this? Because it made me laugh, and I don't know if it's like crosses your lines. And so far, he hasn't actually said no to any of it. In fact, one of them, he said, "Oh, I saw that. I was going to post it."
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, no, it's like I don't know if other people have been like. I do know one person that has been banned so far that I know of because it was quite public. Short version, I posted. When you report someone on Twitter and you get the thing, hey, here's the update, and then in this case, the person had been kicked. Mm-hmm. They'd been kicked for basically being a TERF, and so Jake was like, hey, so what's this? What? Okay, cool. What happened here? And I was like, I told him, and like other people were in the forum. Like, and there was a bit of back and forth. And there was that one guy who was like, oh, but no, don't care. And the thing that got me is this person who was like, what's wrong with like them objecting, like being gender critical? I can't remember the arguments they were giving, but like, yeah, they were being a douche nozzle.
Yeah.
This was actually when I found out that some of the members in the forum actually are trans. I actually became friends with one of them.
Mm-hmm.
But she actually DM'd me and was like, thank you. Thanks for sticking up for us. Being really groovy. I think she's out now, so it's cool. But yeah, it was like the person who was being a douche nozzle is a furry, which I'm not saying anything against. You do you, but that they would be condemned just as hard in certain circles that he's kind of defending.
Yeah,
he would be judged for being a furry.
Yep.
Yeah, because
by the people he's defending.
Yeah, because of course, that's the thing about a lot of these, like alt-right groups or whatever that accept certain minorities, like the pick-me's or whatever. It's like the pick-me's were probably are one of probably two things: one, greedy and power hungry, which human condition, or two, and probably more likely, depending on your demographic, they're wanting some sort of acceptance. That's why like things like Gamergate and the alt-right have exploded, because there are a bunch of disillusioned, entitled, whiny man-baby incel motherfuckers, ironically, who want to have some sort of acceptance. And instead of maybe, saying, hey, maybe it's me, they're like, no, they are wrong. It's like that Simpsons meme. Am I in the wrong? No, it is the children who are wrong. That sort of mentality. And it's just, oh. Speaking of furries and assholes, which, well, can't say it's probably the first time I've ever uttered that sentence, but it probably won't be the last. I think all of us follow the "Am I the Asshole" Twitter, or at least have heard of it. But
I've heard of it, but I've not. I don't know if you follow. I didn't realize it was an active Twitter account. Maybe I should start.
Yeah. So
I've been trying to make my Twitter line really wholesome, like following like Wee Wee Wah Wah and stuff like that. Like basically, if OT covers it, I'll follow it.
There you go. So anyway, for those who don't know, Am I the Asshole Twitter is basically just takes screenshots and links from a subreddit called Am I the Asshole? And where people go in with their issues, and they're like, okay, wait. Here's the situation. Am I really the asshole here? So, points to the people who post on that, they have at least some level of self-awareness. Most of the time. But this one may not be one of them. And the thread title is, Am I the asshole for being uncomfortable with my girlfriend being naked around her dog? Now, before we get into it, I just have to ask one thing. Is she fucking the dog? Because if she's not fucking the dog, then where's the issue? Well, let's find out where that issue is. My 33 male girlfriend, 30, hates clothes. Hey, I mean, If I could go around naked, I probably would. But A, I don't live alone, and B, I get a little with certain parts of my anatomy. Just it's a self paranoia thing. So anyway, to the point where she has actively researched nudist colonies, and if it wasn't for having to occasionally go into the office, she would have moved there long before she met me. So she's always naked around the house, which for me, it's hella nice. She's got a rockin' bod. Good answer. Good answer. Because if you're dating somebody, I hope they have a rockin' bod to you. You know, even if you're not like, even if you're ace, I know ace people can at least appreciate aesthetics. So
yeah.
So the issue is her 2-year-old dog. Dog is a super cute and fluffy Great Pyrenees, Pyrene, Pyrenees.
Pyrenees.
Okay, very well trained. 10 out of 10, good girl. Girlfriend was there when her friend brought the heavily pregnant mom home from the pound, was there at the birth, and fell in love immediately. With a capital I, by the way. I just want to note that. I just think that's amusing. She sees that dog as the closest thing she'll ever have to a kid due to medical issues. Aww. Offer, my girlfriend is just always naked at home. Playing with the dog? Naked. Cuddling on the couch? Naked. She keeps a slip dress by the door for walks, but otherwise, naked. It's weird, right? I tried to be subtle, but finally the other day I sat down with her and pointed out that yes, she's trained the dog not to sniff human butts, but it's still like something out of an illegal adult movie for her to be naked with an animal all the time. Dude.
What the fuck?
Dude. Wow. She got pissed and asked me to leave. Tried to talk sense into her, but she wasn't listening to it. Finally left her house, and once I got back to my apartment, I tried texting one of her friends, but she blew up at me saying I was an ass. Yeah. My girlfriend is now radio silence. Am I the asshole here?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, and there's a follow-up. There's a bit of a follow-up at it. Wow, I stepped away to make and eat dinner, and this blew up. I wasn't expecting this many things. To answer questions, no, I'm not a troll, and I'm not jealous of a literal female dog. So you ain't jealous of a bitch. Got it. I know my girlfriend isn't doing anything, but it's still weird. I do see being naked as sexual, since the only times I'm fully naked are when I'm showering or, well, having sex. I respect that my girlfriend doesn't feel the same way, but I'll get up to use the bathroom or something, come back to the dog in my spot on the couch, sleep with her head on my girlfriend's naked thigh. That's just so weird. How is it not? Dude. Get over yourself, man. Like, this is not the worst Am I the Asshole I have read, but, dude, get over yourself. Like, seriously. Dog takes your spot, and now he's on your girlfriend's naked thigh. Oh, well. Dogs will do that even if your girlfriend was clothed. Deal with it. Like,
yeah.
Like, come on, man. I mean, and oh, I'm only naked if I'm showering or having sex. Well, good for you. You want a cookie? Like I'm clothed most of the time. So it's like, whatever.
He sees it as inherently sexual, but is only if he's like, naked if he's having sex or showering. So what? Showers are inherently sexual for him?
I mean, does he have sex in the shower? Which I've tried it. I mean, it's a little awkward. But then the girl I was trying it with was like 5'3", 5'2", so, and I'm like 5'7", 5'8", depending on my posture. So it's a little weird, a little awkward, but I just, dude, you're literally jealous of a 2-year-old puppy. That's yeah. Oh, I mean, he claims he's not. But it's like, dude, dude, dog's a dog. Dog ain't gonna do something. Dog tries to sniff somewhere she doesn't want sniffed. She's gonna tell the dog no, just like you would. Like, and dogs can learn. Animals do learn. So it's just
the risk taking this in a direction I'd understand more if it was a boy dog, especially if they hadn't been fixed.
I can't get on board with that one because it's like a dog is a dog, male or female, doesn't matter. Because it's like,
yeah, but I could understand why he'd be a bit more cautious about human woman being naked around a unfixed boy dog.
Yeah.
Why you might find that a bit more awkward. Like I said, if you want to go in a direction.
It's like, yeah, but I also don't think the zoophile angle either, or potential zoophile angle. Despite being like I consider myself part furry because I'm not really like the biggest in the fandom, but I like appreciate and all that good shit. But it's like, and I throw the furry angle, but even furries look at zoophiles are like, no, dude, get the fuck out.
Oh yeah. No, I'm not saying that this person would. I'm not saying that it, something would happen.
Mm-hmm.
But boy dogs tend to like hub whatever's around.
Yeah.
That's why I emphasize unfixed.
Yeah. I guess that's fair. Yeah. I guess that's fair. But
a little floofy, especially a Pyrenees. Oh, actually, okay, Pekingese are the little ones. Pyrenees can be quite big.
Yeah.
Oh, they're big. They're like polar bears.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So even at 2, that's not going to be a small, necessarily a small dog.
Yeah.
But like I said in the pre-show, the dog's naked as well.
Yeah.
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 I mean, I don't know. Maybe she gets a haircut now and again, like because I think they've got quite thick fur, so depending on where in the country it is, where they are, it might be beneficial to the dogs to sort of give it a bit of a haircut, cool it off a little.
Yeah.
But otherwise, get over yourself. It's no big deal, my dudes.
Yeah, it's just there's nothing to it, and I'm the kind of guy who I see a naked body that I don't intend on seeing or whatever, as long as it's not like as long as it's within like the legal and bounds and everything, I automatically go boing. So and even I can be like, yeah, there's like nothing inherently sexual. It's just my brain is finding the packaging nice. That's all. I mean, it's like, I mean, it was even a point. I got together with my friend and we were getting ready to do the thing, and she even made a note, but like, man, you're ready to go. I'm like, yeah, well, and the thing is, I had seen her naked before, so it's not like it was anything new. So, but I mentioned that just to reiterate the fact that even with that particular mindset and that particular wiring, I can look at this woman being naked around her dog all the time and be like, nothing really sexual about it. She might be hot, yeah, but it's not inherently sexual. Me finding somebody hot does not make the interaction inherently sexual.
Exactly.
It's that's just how it is. And I think more men should follow that particular mindset. I encourage it. So as Michelle mentioned, we did talk about this a little bit before we started recording, and there was one thing that was brought up. The whole zoophile thing was brought up, and I'm like, wait a minute. There was something I watched recently, and I went through my YouTube history and found it on the channel That Creepy Reading, and his videos on 5 even worse YouTubers that need to stop. There is a YouTube podcast channel that basically celebrates and brags about being zoophiles to the point to where they pretty much, I don't remember if they have or if they're or not, but these are the kind of people that would go and fuck Fluffy and then brag about it on their podcast. So they're not only sick individuals, they're stupid individuals.
Yep.
And it's like,
I'm gonna say something that I know is going to be controversial. It's not. I know. I want to reiterate, it's not something I've engaged with. But as I said before, boy dogs going to be boy dogs, and if they, if for whatever reason that the human female is, wandering around naked, or like for some reason like maybe bent down to grab something, and boy dog decides, ooh, target, things could happen. Now, whether or not like the human female enjoys it or tells the dog to get the F off straight away, that's a thing.
Yeah.
However, in that instance, boy dog is the instigator. It's still icky, but boy dog is instigating. Girl dog doesn't get that choice. Or any other female animal. Male animals might initiate. I know ducks are like randy little fuckers. I think pigs as well.
I've heard dolphins do too.
Yeah. So I'm not saying that I approve or condone. And if the human female or male wants to get themselves into a compromising situation with a male animal that is going to do that anyway, it's still wrong, it's still icky, but odds are that the male animal is going to more than likely be the instigator.
Yeah.
Female animals, no, they don't get that. And I realise that's kind of a strange, icky take, but it's sort of our point of view.
Yeah. It's one of those things where it's like for people to just like talk about it and instead of just sweeping it under the rug, it does get a little bit icky. Like there was like at least one episode like years ago of this very show. I think it was one of the ones where we had Josh Hadley on, and
wow, that is going back.
Oh yeah, that is going way back.
Oh boy.
So the topic of like photorealistic artwork modeling or whatever came up, and and it, like photorealistic CGI. That's the word I'm wanting. That came up, and I think the story involved there being a concern of that being used to generate CGI child porn.
Ooh,
and that's just like, and that's one of those things where I had to sit there and I had to think, okay, and I believe I said, close to this around that time. That if you're not hurting a physical child, then as long as you keep it to yourself, then whatever. It is not hot. It is gross as fuck. I do not approve of it. Please get professional help. But at the same time, you are not physically hurting or mentally or emotionally hurting a child. Then, there's not much I can do about it other than just, berate you or make fun of you or whatever. Bully you if you want to call it that. I don't care. And fast forward to now, almost, let's see, that was 9 years later. Whew, that's how long this show has been going on. Fast forward 9 years, and I still kind of, it's kind of the same. Again, the threshold is whether or not somebody is being hurt.
Yeah.
And, if you keep it to yourself and you get the help you need or what have you, then, the worst you'll get from me is, some barbs, some passive-aggressive comments, what have you, That's the worst you will get from me personally. You start hurting people and breaking laws, then it's on. That's kind of where I'm at. And I know some people say, well, even if it's CG child porn, somebody had to be a model for it or what have you, or if it's a drawing based on a child, then somebody, it could hurt them too. And it's like, I see that, and I do understand that, especially if the child knows that this has been drawn, and that's very, 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 that's a whole different boatload of icky too. But I think just as a general base rule, if you are not harming anybody, if that is in this case keeping it to your damn self, then I'll leave you alone. I'll poke fun at you. I will throw barbs at you or what have you, but that's about it. Your actions start hurting people, then we gonna have words and maybe some fisticuffs, maybe more. I don't know.
Yep.
So that is my personal threshold. Perfect world, we wouldn't have any of it. In a perfect world, but we don't have that perfect world. But so until we do, you keep an eye on those. Oh God, I think they've tried to call themselves virtuous pedophiles, which I don't know about virtuous. No. No. Like, good on you from keeping yourself from actually harming a child. I will give you that credit for the bare minimum. But, you know, you're not virtuous. Trust me. You ain't virtuous.
No,
All right.
virtuous implies high moral standards, and not hurting kids is well, the bar is on the fucking ground.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like you could trip over that bar. Or if it's directly on the ground, you just step on it, it'll like roll you and knock you on your ass. Or your face.
Yeah.
You know. So that's how low the bar is.
There's a... I don't know if you're aware about the drama Cracker, the Robbie Coltrane one. It was way back when.
Might need to remind me. I don't remember if I know about it.
Yeah, basically, he's a detective. I don't know if he's like a chief constable. He's a cop who does like the detective work, but obviously the British cop.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like hard drinking, hard living kind of, you know. I haven't watched every single episode yet, so I still need to catch up with everything. But it was like, yeah, it won BAFTAs. It was like, you know, really well received.
Yeah.
But there's I can't remember the exact details of the case. I think one of the people were having an affair with another person, and they were like trying to hide the fact.
Mm-hmm.
And it involved, I can't remember if the child actually died or was just severely injured.
Oh,
but
no.
The one of the junior investigators was basically had the line like, if you hear a child, you go towards it, you don't run away from it. Like, yeah, these people that were having the affair could have helped them. They weren't actually related to the case. They were just happened to be in the same area. I don't even think they were guilty of, like, outside of neglecting the child's cry. The case was nothing to do with them.
Wow.
You know, if they'd been, like, even a few feet away, they wouldn't have even been part of the investigation.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, you hear a child cry, you go towards it, you don't run away.
Yeah.
And like that is basically what Scully was saying about the bar. It's like, it's on the fucking ground.
Yeah, definitely.
I need to watch the rest of Cracker.
So yeah, let's end this first half on a relatively lighter note. Still talking about children, at least adjacently, but in a different way.
Mm-hmm. So
it's celebrity gossip fluff, but you know it's considerably lighter. So I'm going to run with it. Oh, it was trending on Twitter for a little bit that Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis apparently they don't shower often or even wash their kids often. At least not often enough for the Twitterverse, because it's like they're just like, yeah, you know, if you see dirt, wash it off of them, but we don't force them to shower very often, you know. And I think that's one of the big takeaways. I think some people miss out of it is they say very often. They don't say they never bathe or never shower. They just don't do it as often. And there are other ways to clean oneself besides bathing or showering. I am a practitioner of that for the most part. Myself, because most of the time I'm just here by myself at the office, you know, at home in my office, what have you. You know, I don't go very many places, COVID or otherwise. And if I do, most of the time I'm by myself in a car. Whenever time comes up, like I'm going to go do plasma, or if I go pick up my friend Amanda or whatever, you know, I'll either clean up with some wipes or I'll get a full-on shower, depending on what I'm expecting. You know, so I do clean myself often enough, at least in some way, often enough.
yeah.
So, and I think that is the important thing to remember is like, yeah, just because somebody says they don't bathe or shower doesn't mean they don't clean themselves at all. Like, you know, there are other ways to clean yourself. Like I said, I'll just use like wipes every now and then. Part of the reason why I don't shower very often is not just because, well, I don't go very many places, but also I have this thing, and anybody who's been with me, like, in a con or long-standing crowd situations can attest that I have a collapsing arch in one foot, and if I'm on my feet for more than, like, 10 or 20 minutes, it hurts like a motherfucker. And sometimes, and if I'm on my feet for even longer than that, my opposite leg starts going numb. So that might be a whole different issue on its own, but so it's a pain. So of course, I being in the shower usually takes me that long, and it's like, oh yeah, don't want to do that. And our bathtub is small relative to my body, so bathing is a relaxed time thing, but I understand that it's very tight fit. So again, you clean yourself however you want, as long as you do it, and whatever. But all of these people are going after the two of them for saying like, oh, we and our kids, our family doesn't shower very often, blah 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 blah. It's like, they're not saying they never shower, and B, it's not saying they don't wash themselves some other ways either. So, we don't know, and frankly, it honestly is none of our business. So,
I didn't even come up that they were saying about it.
Probably an interview or something. I don't know, but it's like,
I saw that on sorry.
Yeah. But it's like, if they want to share that information, that's fine. It's their information to share. They want to share it and have people talk about it. That's fine. I mean, mission accomplished here. But, it's like, whatever. And if you're living by yourself, I mean, I'm not in my case, I'm not, but, if hypothetical you are living by yourself or with somebody who is like-minded or doesn't care if you stank a little bit here and there every now and then do you. It's your body. Do what you want to with it. Just be aware if you walk out of the house without even trying to freshen up, people are going to look at you and like, oh, what did you do? Roll into a garbage pile? I don't know what that voice is. But, just be aware of that.
Yeah. I mean, I saw it on Zen's general chat, and I didn't follow links. It was like, and they were like, kind of, getting icked, which is fine. That's their opinions, they're valid. But I'm just like, and I've gone on record on this very show saying, I clean the key areas. I make sure I don't smell when I go out.
Yeah.
I shower weekly, wash my hair. But honestly, and I was watching a Dr. Mike video semi-recently. He basically confirmed it, like the hot water, and sometimes you try and use a good product, but you can take off the natural bodily defenses. Anywhere where I'm not saying that anyone would, well, certainly not anyone here would be that gross, but yeah, potentially armpits, under boob, crotch area.
Yeah,
you can get fungals. You can get things can happen there. So those areas definitely clean. Obviously, wash your face. If nothing else, just to help you wake up. The rest of it, maybe give your toes a wipe out now and again because things can grow in there as well. But other than that, as long as you're keeping it all clean, if you're covered up, like the young lady earlier in the other story, she probably washes quite regularly because she's exposing her body to more stuff in the atmosphere. But if you're sitting around your PJs or you're booted and suited or whatever. As long as you're presentable.
Yeah.
Smell nice, get a quick spritz.
Yeah. Armpits, asshole, crotch, and teeth.
The only thing, and this is where I'm like, I don't know how old their children are.
Yeah.
Prepubescent sweat isn't really an issue anyway, is it? Like, I think that's like sweat comes with puberty, doesn't it? Like big sweating.
Well, the stinky sweating comes with puberty, yeah. But
so if the kids are still prepubescent, like I said, I don't know how old their children are.
Yeah.
Then as long as they're like, keeping their faces clean and like encouraging good habits, like washing their hands before handling food in any way, stuff like that, then let kids be kids.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, and
if they're if they are teenagers, they probably they become self-conscious and want to clean themselves all the time anyway.
Yeah. So it's like, whatever. I mean, in terms of the kids, it sounds like other than this big thing we're talking about, I say big thing, other than this thing we're talking about, for all we know, they're well adjusted, they're being taken care of, they're fed, they're housed, they're clothed. It's just they don't wash as often as other people say they should.
Mila speaks Russian as well, doesn't she? So the kid's probably getting a second language from like day dot as well. So they're getting ahead in some ways.
There you go. So yeah, Scully, do you have any?
Like, if she's in... Sorry, no, I was just like, someone commented like, oh, but she sticks a BO in the recording booth or whatever when she's doing like Family Guy. I'm like, you think she doesn't freshen up before going to work?
Yeah, like, come on, y'all. Just because one doesn't shower as often as you think they should doesn't mean they don't clean at all. Like, Jeeves. I know, like it's a broken record at this point, but it bears repeating.
Sorry, Scully.
Yeah. Do you have any other thoughts on this, Scully, before we go to break?
Yeah, basically, I do think that you should shower every day just so you get, like, I mean, especially if you're post-pubescent, like, you're gonna be sweating a lot, it's good to just wash everywhere. Yeah, I just don't like feeling dirty.
Yeah.
Gotta wash so you don't, get, I don't know, fungus or whatever kind of grime on you.
Yeah.
That's just me, though. As long as it's not like, oh yeah, I only shower like once a month. That's
yeah.
No.
Yeah. Well, again, showering once a month, if without doing absolutely anything else, yeah, definitely, you should clean more often. Which is why I brought up the wipes, because again, I don't shower like proper shower very often, but I do take some effort and clean myself. And I clean the areas and even a little bit of extra stuff too. So it's like, about the only thing I can't clean with the wipes is my hair, and nobody's sniffing my hair anytime soon. So I'm not too concerned with it.
Washcloth, my soap,
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, the whole thing is, we've all got our ways of keeping ourselves fresh and clean, and depending on your circumstances, that could work for you. That you might need to maybe see about changing it up a little bit. It's just going to depend on your circumstance.
I haven't seen this on, obviously, because I mentioned before that for various reasons that no bad reasons, but I haven't been keeping up to date with Rosen's server.
Mm-hmm.
But I did see a post. I can't remember what it was about. I can't remember the full context. But I think something turned up in the T-Zone, and then there was a correction or something, and one of the guys was like, maybe we shouldn't be so quick to judge everything. I'm like, yeah, you think?
Yeah.
Because you guys can be quite judgy at times. I love you all, but
yeah, I've been guilty of that, and I try to catch myself, but I'm human. I try not to.
Yeah. I'm not having a go. They're a good group mostly, but yeah, it can be quite judgy. You can jump to the conclusions.
Yeah. And I try to be better about it, but I fail, and I'm probably going to again. I don't plan on it, but it'll probably happen.
I'm trying not to have a go directly at anyone. It was just the fact that moment of self-awareness, like, we shouldn't do this. I'm like, yeah, think.
Yeah. It happens. We're all human here, I hope.
Yeah.
Last I checked.
But I thought, really?
But yeah,
Oh, speaking of Thor memes, did you see that one where he's basically, I'm a Jedi? It's like listing all the things like the lightning and all these different powers. Is basically a god. And it's the scene from Ragnarok where he's talking to Bruce. And then the last one was Natalie Portman.
There you go.
It's a whole thing. I'll try and find it. But yeah, it's like Bruce is like, you're not a Jedi, but this. And then Natalie Portman's the punchline.
There you go. Oh, so with that, we're going to go ahead and take our break, and then we'll be right back. Hey folks, we'll get back to the show in a moment, but first I want to tell you about Patreon. Patreon is what I use to get around all of the YouTube adpocalypse bullshit, and while I don't have a lot right now, every little bit does help. And if you like what you hear or what you see on any of my videos or podcasts, head on over there. For as little as $1 a month, you can get all of these things early before anybody else does, and you can get them completely ad-free. Yeah, I know YouTube right now is technically ad-free, but at some point I'm probably going to get big enough to where ads will start coming in, and those can be annoying, so you want to avoid that, right? If you go ahead and go now over to patreon.com/Gomer21XX, leave $1, $5, doesn't matter how much, you can get all of these. Again, you can get them early, and you get them without ads, even when I reach the point on YouTube to where ads can be put on these videos. So it's a win-win. And you can even avoid the ads that go up on the Anchor versions that go out to all of the other websites that are out there. No ads. It's great. So that's patreon.com/Gomer21XX.
And now, an important message from Tyler Green, Kitty Quinn, and Randy Martin.
Are you tired of asking yourself if that obscure show or movie you watched once was a fever dream?
Is it still in your brain to this day as a 3 a.m. channel-changing hallucination? Well, join us as we yank that said memory out of your subconscious when we do a deep dive on it on Channel KRT.
Channel KRT is a new bi-weekly podcast where we look at the best and worst of obscure media. We'll be covering such topics as
The Puzzle Place,
Clown TV,
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, the TV show,
Reanimated,
The Weird Al Show,
We Sing,
and more. Join us every other week over at Spotify, YouTube, Anchor, and wherever podcasts can be heard. Channel KRT, cut to static.
Hey y'all, wanna watch some anime? I haven't seen this one.
Oh, good idea. I've been meaning to watch this one.
Hey, can we watch this one? I was distracted.
Ignoring how easily Gomer is distracted by booty, how about this one?
Alright. How about this? Let's just pick one and watch one episode a week. We can even talk about it on a podcast. It's random, it's anime. What should we call it?
Randome. Check out Randome. Recorded every week at twitchtv.com/rosenthorn. And available. Oh, good lord.
This is all staying in.
Howdy, everyone, and welcome to this little mid-roll segment that I like to do. Honestly, I'd really love to see if others want to jump in on this too, like little 5-minute segments. If you want to, let me know. You can contact me through Twitter or whatever. If you're on Discord, you can just DM me. But anyway, there's a thing, I think we mentioned it last time, where we talked about Audacity potentially having spyware or what have you with the newest versions and all of that. Well, it turns out that after we did that episode, other information came out that said, no, that's not what it is. And it's something Scully had put in our general chat in the Thespian Talk server. From Ars Technica, which actually is a more trusted source for this kind of thing. No open source Audacity audio editor is not spyware, and the community's telemetry concerns were received and addressed 2 months ago. This was released July 6th, so back in May. Basically, the privacy policy, which was last updated, earlier this month, July 2nd, it outlines the data which the app might collect, such as OS and name and version, the country geolocated by public IP addresses, CPU, non-fatal error codes and messages like project file failed to open, crash reports, and then of course data necessary for law enforcement. And the legal grounds for processing all of the stuff is things like legitimate interest to make sure that the app actually works, or in the case of law enforcement, just to make sure, hey, their ass doesn't get railed by law enforcement by certain things. So, but that's pretty much all it is. Any kind of data that's going to be collected is basically it's just going to be most stuff that most apps will collect anyway. Just make sure, hey, things are going okay. Hey, if there's an error, let us know. We can fix it, and we'll just do all that for you there. That's where that comes in. And of course, if law enforcement is like, hey, we got to need this information on this person here. Do you have anything like that? We've known they've used your program, and by law they would have to say what you will about the law enforcement in this country at this time, whatever, right? So yeah, it turns out the Audacity thing, false alarm. I think we talked about it. Like I said, I think we talked about it last time. If we didn't, well, first news for everybody, I suppose. But either way, if you were worried about it now, you don't have to be worried about it. So yeah, well, you will get back to the show. Thanks for listening, and take care. And we are back from our break, and oh boy. So
I don't like it when he says that.
yeah, so this is something Scully put in our green room this morning. Well, earlier this afternoon, rather. So it is a tweet from this Laverne Spicer lady. She's a candidate for, it looks like, I guess maybe a House seat in Miami or something. And she is a Republican, fighting to expose the lies of the left and end the Democrats' destruction of Black America. I should also note that Laverne Spicer is black. Ma'am, are you a pick-me?
Obviously.
Just like.
Okay, that's the second time you've used that expression. Is it like literally pick me, or is it something else?
It's basically a minority. It's basically a minority, usually one that's been historically oppressed, i.e., black people in this country, who kiss up and play to their historical oppressors, i.e., white people, rich white people, to be specific, in order to gain favor. So, So people like Laverne Spicer, Candace Owens. I know there are black men. I'm only thinking black women for some reason. But
Kane was one of them.
Yeah. Oh, and it goes beyond race too. Like Milo Yiannopoulos is one of them. To the point where I think he went through conversion therapy. So he was such a pick-me that he decided to torture himself. Like, dude.
Yeah.
Like, dude.
Yeah.
Dude.
Another example, Blair White.
I was just thinking about her.
God, fuck her.
No.
Yeah,
Okay. I was going to say about Milo is I didn't even know he was supposed to be gay until I found out he went through conversion therapy. I'm like, all right.
Oh, it's been known. Yeah, like it's pretty much been known he was gay.
Really followed him.
Huh? Go ahead.
I think it's because I just didn't really follow him.
Yeah. Here is hoping. I do not like Milo Yiannopoulos as a person, as a human being, but yeah, I do not want to see. If this conversion therapy drives him to suicide, I would be sad for the man, because that's no way to go out, even for a piece of shit like him. So it's like, no. There are very few, there's an extreme short list of people that I would probably either not shed a tear or celebrate if they offed themselves. He is not on that list. But again, very short list. Very, very short list. But we were talking about Laverne Spicer for a bit, because she tweeted out this take that says, there are no pronouns in the Bible. Man, that is demonstrably untrue.
Yep.
Like shit, I don't even have one in...
Okay, either A, she does not know what the fuck pronouns are, or she has not read the Bible. Or both.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess the latter. Because, let's see, like her very next tweet in this thread that pops up reads, the liberal mob is on my trail for standing against their wild agenda. Oh, wait! There's a pronoun! Oh my god! They know that my district is flipping in 2022 and want to stop it. There's another one!
Yes.
I've been running Miami's largest food bank for years and helping folks get on their feet. There's another one! Like, oh my god. And credit to her, she's been running a food bank, which, okay, point of credit.
She's right. Yeah, if it has been successful, then yay.
Yeah.
Good for her. But otherwise, no.
Yeah, just wow. Just how I tell you, like I know that right wing talking points get stupid, and just all of this bullshit just flies out just so they can have some little taste of the power that they have been enjoying their ill-gotten power for the past few centuries. I realize they want to keep a hold of that, but it's like, no, you need to just let it go. Let it go. You know, have Queen Elsa come around and just sing it at you. You know,
You reminded me of something very cringy, but we could talk about it afterwards.
Yeah, but yeah, there are demonstrably pronouns in the Bible. Oh.
Yeah, doesn't like God say unto him?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Most famous verse in the Bible. I got it pulled up right here. John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only Son, so that everyone who believes in him may not perish, but may have eternal life.
Oh, I wasn't even keeping track of the pronoun count on that one, but that's at least 2 or 3.
Yeah, 3.
Yep.
Good God.
Do you think that pronouns are just like they, them, their?
It's like,
Yeah.
Jeebus. And it's one of those stupidest talking points over on. I keep saying the right, but when I'm meaning the conservatives in this case. So but in America they're almost interchangeable, so whatever. And it's like,
Yeah,
well, we don't need this.
Self has opinions on that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't use people's pronouns. Do you realize you get yourself into trouble at work for that?
Yeah. It's like, Jeebus. But it's just, they just want, the conservatives' end goal is to retain power for themselves. How do they do that? By whipping up people that are insecure, that are poor, that have nothing else really to lose against anybody. They're weaponizing the goddamn poor while grinding them under their heel. It's like, holy shit.
I know those food banks come with preaching.
Oh, probably. Like, oh god. Like, so it's just, it's like, look, you wanna, and hopefully we're wrong on the preaching thing. Hopefully we're wrong. I have not looked into it. I do not care to do it while we're on the air. But
yeah, no, that's fine. I was speculating, but
yeah,
she's got to be. If she's running a food bank and actually genuinely helping people, then that's good, and I wish those people well. But you can't tell me there isn't just a little bit of preaching on the side.
Yeah, but I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt and say there's not. Just I'm going to be generous on this one.
Yeah, fair.
Because at the very least you're doing something. So
yeah.
It probably doesn't outweigh all of the other shit you probably are trying to push as a Republican. Because, again, no pronouns in the Bible. Really? Just no, ma'am.
Do you even know what words are?
Just, oi. Oh,
Do you even
fucking
language?
hell. Yeah, just, they know my district is flipping in 2022. And how would that be? How would it flip in 2022? Because Miami, from what I understand, is a kind of a more. I could be wrong, and if Lacey is listening, she can correct me. But from what I understand, it's considerably. Well, it's definitely more liberal than it is up here. but probably one of the more liberal cities in Florida. That, Orlando, Tampa, probably Jacksonville, but I could be wrong. You know, hell, even Tallahassee. Despite the fact that it's where the governor lives, and the governor is, well, he's Ron DeSantis. I can't tell you how many times I've been tempted to try and find the governor's mansion and just throw a rock at it. But I don't. Because A, I don't feel like looking for it, and B, I don't have any rocks. And I'm too lazy to get any. No. But, yeah. I think the only way, and it's been kind of proving itself over and over and over again, that if Republicans are winning 9 times out of 10, there's some shady shit going on. And they try to deflect that shady shit by saying, oh no, the Democrats are doing it whenever they lose. Like these restricted...
Steal! Stop the steal!
Right?
Sorry.
Just, it's like, how can we lose? We cheated everything perfectly. You want to try that again, Chief? It's like,
I know
because
several people have said this.
Mm-hmm.
No, same topic. Sorry, I know several people have said this, but if the Democrats cheated, they did a bad job of it, because if they cheated properly, they would also have the House and Senate with comfortable majorities.
Yeah, they would.
Go down the ticket.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why, and also I'm going to just throw this in here while I'm thinking about it. Vote in your local elections. And if somebody tries to deny you your right to vote, tell them to go fuck themselves and kick them in the nuts. Or their clits. You know, I don't know what they got down there. You know. And if it's an official trying to do it, and they have no legal, and they legally should not be able to do it, like trying to say, oh, you can't pass out food or water to people who are standing in line for 8 hours just to vote. Fuck you. I'm going to give them water, and if you try to take it away from them, there's going to be hands thrown. You want to try that? Come on. Because, you know.
Literally, I don't get it. I've never queued up. Like, I think the most recent election where it was obviously, it was a local election. They changed the office where it was happening. So, like, before it was a small church over the road. Now it's actually the front area of the council office. I don't know if that's a permanent change.
Yeah.
But there was like a gentleman in there before me, and the only reason I didn't go in straight away, because there was more than one area that I could have put my X on, is because I was following social distancing.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I waited.
Yeah, and I think
it was.
Let's see. This last election, I was able to do mail-in ballot because Florida has that, even though some people were like, "Oh, I voted. You can cheat." I was like, most people aren't going to cheat on their ballots, you assholes. You know, like this whole voter fraud thing that this whole voter fraud boogeyman thing that Republicans try to push. It's like, no, you're pushing something that happens maybe 1% of 1% of 1% of 1% of cases.
I think they people have quoted oh yeah, no, you're right. There was an instance by a Republican. Oh yeah, oh, you're right. No, hang on. There's another one over here. Oh wait, that was a Republican.
Yeah.
I don't know, and I'm happy to be corrected. But of all the instances people have brought up where there's an actual provable incident of some kind of, and I think a couple of cases it was a genuine mistake, or they derped somewhere, or there was a few cases where they thought there was a big error, but it turns out it was a computer thing.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of those, the genuine, someone tried to do the stupid.
Yeah.
And it was provable that they were trying to do the stupid. It was conservatives.
Yeah.
If there was any Democrats that, have actually been provable and they tried to do the stupid, then fair enough. Let us know down below. I hadn't heard of it.
Yeah. Let us know in the doobly-doo. Hell, tweet at us on Twitter. Shit. or hell, come to the Discord. Oh! Yeah. We have a Discord. You can do that. But just, god damn. And, so the whole waiting in line thing for voting, I haven't waited in a long, in a notably long line to vote since college, I think. And that was because I went to a different place than I normally do. I don't remember why the one in my hometown was like that, but
How are you defining notably long wait?
Well, in terms of nowadays, more than 20 minutes, more to the point to where I have to find a place to sit down if I don't want to have numb legs. So 20 to 30 minutes. So
is that the longest you've had to wait?
God, it's been almost 20 years, so I do not know. At least I think it was almost 20. Could be almost 10. Or over 10. Point is, it's been a while.
Trouble figuring that out. It probably, has been a while.
Yeah, but
you never waited longer than that 20-30 minutes.
Yeah, because again, around here, I mean, Graceville's a small town. The one of the bigger towns in the county is Marianna, our county seat, and all that good shit. And it's a bigger college town. Graceville's a college town too, but we're podunk. Mainly because the college here is a Baptist college. Gee, I wonder why we're podunk. But Marianna, secular college town, right next to the interstate, it's good, decent size. Not as big as places like Tallahassee or Jacksonville or Chicago or Indy or what have you, but it's a comparatively good size. It's enough for them to have at least I think 2 or 3 McDonald's. so that's the size we're talking here. Anyway, so Graceville, usually maybe 10 minutes tops. Get in, show the ID. Yeah, we have to show ID, and then get out. Show ID, vote, and then get out. Rather, so it doesn't normally take too long here. And like I've mentioned, this past year we did mail-in because COVID. So
yeah,
and I kind of like the mail-in idea because it's like, hey, I can take my time. I have my computer in front of me. I can look up. Okay, this is what this candidate's about. This is what that candidate's about. As long as they update shit. So.
Yeah. But yeah, so I had a cringe. I can't remember what the context was. I can't remember what the conversation was.
Mm-hmm.
But Mom was like, "Oh, just let it go." But she didn't just say. She's like, and you have to remember, she was doing make note. She was doing arm gestures as well, like Elsa was doing. She's like, "Let it go, let it go." I'm like, I'm in my 40s and I'm cringing at my mother.
Oh lordy. I don't think that ever goes out of style. I think cringing at one's parents never goes out of style.
I can't remember. I don't think alcohol was involved.
Yeah.
I think she just thought she was being funny.
Oh lordy.
And I think on that and like, I love you, but no.
Oh. So
yeah, it's bad enough that even when I think about it accidentally, it's like, oh no, cringe.
Ooh. So there is one other thing that I saw brought up somewhere, on a different topic. So, but before we go there, Scully, do you have anything you want to add on all of this?
Because we went around the map.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, yeah. Really, do people just not know? I'm seriously starting to think that people just don't know what the fuck a pronoun is, because it's like, oh yeah, pronouns. They're probably thinking neo-pronouns or whatever the fuck, but yeah, these people need to take some English lessons. Some basic grammar lessons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's one thing to be non-inclusive and even transphobic, which is not good. Let's be clear on that. But it's another thing to make us think you're also an idiot. Look, if you're going to be transphobic, just be transphobic. We'll call you out, we'll cancel you if you need to be canceled, and we'll all move on with our lives. Just take your lumps and move on. And maybe grow as a human being a little bit too. I hope you do.
This is willful ignorance as well.
Yeah. Because it's like... It's reminding me of the time Ben Shapiro was claiming that women aren't supposed to be women's vaginas aren't supposed to be wet.
Oh boy.
Poor Dr. Shapiro.
Yeah, it's like, dude, and we all, and I'm sure myself included, rightly called him an idiot for it, and it's like, he's probably not as stupid as we make him out to be. He says a lot of stupid shit, but I'm pretty sure he is more intelligent than. I'm pretty sure he understands that yes, women's vaginas do not stay dry during intercourse, and I'm pretty sure his wife would be like, Ben, why would you say that? Why would you do that, you fucking moron?
Yeah.
Oh,
that other fucking thing that he said that was so dumb. Like, I don't know. Someone was talking about some people in New York were getting surveyed about what kind of things need to be made illegal, and Ben Shapiro said, notably, nobody said crime. Gee, oh yeah,
covered that one.
Oh yeah. That's like.
Did we cover that one?
I don't think so.
I don't remember if we did on the show, but I know I've talked about it at least with the group, and it's just, oh my god, like Ben, I know you know better. And your audience, I'm pretty sure if they have half a brain cell among them, which I'm going to give them a little bit more credit than most people will at this point right now, that his audience is not as stupid as we might make them out to be, from time to time. But
didn't he get absolutely mullered in his Twitter comments though?
Oh, probably. It's like there's a reason why crimes are already illegal. It's a crime. The definition of a crime is going against the law. You dumb stupid fuck.
Yeah.
And I say dumb stupid fuck, but nah. It's just you want to play stupid for laughs or for things like that. That's fine. Every story needs some lovable idiot, and that's fine. And that's the key term, lovable. Ben Shapiro is playing the idiot, but he's not lovable. He's not. He ain't lovable at all. He's using his stupidity to take advantage of people who either don't know better or just want to hear like-minded thoughts come out of somebody else. Just...
confirmations of bias is a thing, people.
Yeah. And it's like, no, dude. No. Which you know what? Going back for a quick moment on like the pick-me type people, Ben Shapiro is Jewish, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
And... what I understand, a lot of the old white Republican assholes, especially the ones more in power, don't they dabble in anti-Semitism?
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah. Once everybody else is under the bus, Ben, you're gonna join them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what was that wartime poem about, nobody was there to help me?
Yeah. First they came for whoever, and I did not speak because I was not whoever.
Yep.
It's like, yeah. And we're seeing it in real time. Like, you've got the TERFs going after trans people, and there's also bi-erasure that happens because apparently people can be only gay or only straight. And that also wraps in with ace erasure too, because apparently if you're ace, you're broken. And no, you're not broken. You just don't experience sexual attraction. And for the record, that doesn't mean you don't enjoy sex as a thing. You just don't feel the sexual attraction. Like I think of it. I'm thinking of it like this: an ace person enjoying sex. That doesn't mean that their body goes all moist or hard or whatever bits they have when they see somebody attractive. It would take, I imagine, more physical stimuli, like somebody actually touching those bits to get the reaction and the enjoyment. It's like, I'm not attracted to you, but I like having sex, so let's do it. That's sort of that's my take on it. Ace people, please weigh in and tell me if I'm correct or even close. But because I am not ace, as you can tell. But that's how I'm imagining it. I just want to be accurate. So, and then next, and they're And they've already got like just the anti-LGBT laws in general, or that, and then you've got voting laws and other things that they're putting forth to keep black people from voting legally, whether it's voter ID, whether it's shutting down polling places, whether it's gerrymandering, what have you. They're doing that. And then, of course, you've got anti-abortion laws that are trying to be introduced. I think Josh Hawley of Missouri, along with like a couple of other senators or what have you, are trying to fight Roe v. Wade at the Supreme Court. I want to say Cruz is one of them. Fuck Ted Cruz. Fucking coward. Anyway, so it's they're going bit by bit. We're seeing that whole, like, they came for this group and I didn't speak. We're seeing that play out in real time, and it is frightening and it is infuriating. I personally, I would like to just take the lot of them, the people trying to push all of this, let's just say it, Christian nationalist propaganda extremism. I'm jumbling my words, but the point is that the people pushing this kind of an agenda, I just want to get them all together and just smack them all. Just tell them to stop it and then just throw them in the brig. Like, no, you don't get to hurt people anymore. You have to stop.
Okay, I know.
Mm-hmm.
I know this is somewhat of a meme, but it still works.
Mm-hmm.
Azkaban.
I never got into Harry Potter, so.
Yeah.
I know it's a reference to Harry Potter, but.
Like, if you remove like all of JK's everything, I still enjoy the world. Like, the fandom's just taking it over now and saying, no, just no.
Yeah.
It's ours now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So.
In fact, there's no doubt in fact, I know for a fact there's a gift for that.
Yeah.
But a lot quicker to find it on your phone. Oh well.
That's okay. But yeah, so against the oppressors that are trying to oppress everybody, and and I didn't even list everybody they're trying to oppress. But odds are, if you're one of these groups that are feeling oppressed by these guys, you know who you are. I know who I am too. and I say that in a position of relative of privilege, especially relative to people poorer than me. I realize I'm saying that there, but at the same time, I need an income of some sort that doesn't rely on plasma donation. That's not easy to find. Not, whether it's because of qualifications or because, again, I can't be on my feet for more than 20 minutes at a time. So
you've got a society where, in order to function, some people have to sell parts of their body.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now,
I think if I were to give blood, I'd get a sticker and a thank you.
Yeah. And bear in mind, it's the specific one is blood plasma, not whole blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I wish they would pay you for whole blood too, but And apparently they also pay for sperm donation, but I think I'm just close enough to be considered out of range for that, age-wise. Because I think one of them is like you have to have at least 2-year degree. Got that. You need to be healthy. Well, healthy enough to donate plasma, that's for sure. That sort of thing. But the age range is like 30. I think the upper age range is like 38, 39, and I'm 38. So I turned 39 in October. So I'm probably, depending on where you go, I'm not even going to bother with it. Even though that would be a lot more fun. Let's face it.
I didn't know that had an age limit on it.
I didn't either, but apparently they do.
Actually, no, that doesn't make sense. I mean, I can understand in terms of wanting the donor to be as healthy and as possible and all that stuff. Yeah, fine. But my understanding is, and maybe this is why, like, the count can go down with age, but the potency is supposed to go up.
And I never really looked too much into it, but they might just be going by
a buck, but you could spread it further.
Yeah, they might just be going by average count at certain ages. So I didn't look at their methodology behind it. Which in my case it doesn't really much matter because the closest one is 4 hours away. And no matter if it's Orlando or Atlanta, it's still 4 hours away. So can't do it anyway.
That's a long way for a wank. I wouldn't bother.
No. If I'm going to go that far and end up ejaculating, I'm going to go fuck somebody. Because at the very least, I can sleep overnight, most likely.
Yeah.
But yeah, speaking of groups that are being oppressed in this country, poor people. So this was shared by Eli in our one of our mutual discords. Eli the cartoon hero. Hi Eli, I know you're listening.
Hey Eli.
But he shared this. Yeah, but he shared this tweet, and okay, Michelle, you know what the Coke freestyles are, right? I don't know if they have them over in the UK. You know, you
like a variant soda.
It's basically the pop dispenser where everything is touchscreen. Like you choose your drink, you choose your, like if you want a flavor shot or something in there, and then you put it under, you press the button, and it throws that particular combination in there.
Yeah, I think we've got like Pepsi versions and stuff. So,
yeah. So yeah, a freestyle machine. So a lot of places have had them. McDonald's, some McDonald's has them. I think around here the one that has one is a Wendy's, but they're starting to do things. They're starting to do things with the freestyles that nobody's gonna like. And the tweet in question calls it anti-homeless DRM. And one of the pictures is the screen saying, "You're going to need a different cup. Just ask at the counter." When the person in the picture already has a cup, they put the cup in, and it reads like this little chip or whatever, scan or whatever at the bottom, on the bottom of the cup. And this one read it and said, "You've got 2 refills to enjoy in 58 minutes." So you get what, 2-3 cups in an hour? Like, no, you should be able to get as many as you need. Because maybe somebody is thirsty. Maybe they're waiting around for somebody. Hell, there are some McDonald's that also serve as bus stops for like Greyhound and shit. I know, I was at one. So, you should be allowed to get as much drink as you need, especially if it's just straight water. But they show like the RFID chip or whatever, what have you, at the bottom as well. And it's like, really? You're all gonna go that far? And I know why they do it. They do it to keep people from supposedly stealing their drinks, like stealing the pop or whatever. Because people over the years have been like, "Hey, I want a cup for water," and then they would get like Sprite or something.
Yeah.
Which, you know what? When it comes to McDonald's, you're the biggest fast food company in America, probably the world. Or at least the most profitable one. You can take the hit. Fuck you. And I'll even say that for most of the major chains. You can take the hit. Fuck you. And if it's a franchisee that this is happening at, well, maybe the parent company that you're franchising to can maybe help cover those particular losses if they're that concerned with it. Just saying,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, you're rich, take the loss. You're going to make that money back in like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
So,
basically.
Yeah. So there's no excuse for that. None.
Nada. No.
We need hackers. Hack in there and be like, yeah. Shit. You hear about all these hackers hacking into like Twitter accounts or Facebook accounts or whatever. It's like, y'all need to do the real work. Go hack these fucking rich billionaire motherfuckers. Hack the oil barons. Go ahead.
Yeah, didn't a group hack the ice cream machines because they kept glitching, and they fixed the problem?
Might have, but it's like okay. Yeah. Yeah, you want to cause problems for the corporations? Go for the money. I'll even add. I mean, yeah, I'll even advocate right here.
The ones that were. Sorry.
It's okay. and I am going to advocate Robin Hooding the fuck out of people like Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, whoever owns McDonald's, the Waltons, people who you could steal 90% of their fortunes outright out, and they would still be okay. You know, give it first to directly to their workers, and then spread out from there. Because I don't want to screw over the workers. You know?
No, it was I think it was like the franchises, like their ice cream machines were always going derpy, and it turns out it was actually a software error or something.
Oops.
But it had I can never know how to pronounce this word properly. Praetorial, the prioritized things that only this equipment can do it.
Right.
I know the word, but I can never bloody pronounce it. And yeah, the hackers worked out what the problem was and just like fixed them.
Yeah.
They just fixed the franchise ice cream machines.
Yeah. So
it was just funny.
rob the rich, and I do mean rich being multi-billionaires at this point. You know, if you're just making like this is where the threshold is now. Millionaires, while still well off, are not considered the super rich. When we talk about the super rich, we don't mean like somebody who makes $3 million a year. You know, if all they're doing is squatting on it, then that's a whole different thing. But that's not generally what we mean. Dolly Parton is a millionaire with an M because she can't give away enough money. You know, in order to outweigh her income. You know, Jeff Bezos just barely tries. And that's why he's a billionaire. And in addition to all the fucking over he does of his workers and everything, you know. And Elon Musk was born with a blood diamond up his ass, so. Yeah. So anyways, anti-homeless DRM, what do you think about this, Scully?
Hell world.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're living in a fucking dystopia, aren't we?
Yeah. This doesn't look like Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Don't look like Tank Girl either.
Man, it's like, I mean, this isn't even the only instance of anti-homeless technology. There's so much of this shit. Oh, God.
Yeah, you got spikes on the ground in certain places. Like I've had to spend, like, overnight in Atlanta. I say overnight. It was, like, it was long enough for it to be classified as overnight, but not long enough to justify getting a hotel room. Because just how that particular bus schedule worked out. And it wasn't like Greyhound. So it's not like I was like in a warm Greyhound station or anything. Sadly. But, you know, you do what you do. And of course, you know, there's not much to do. So I walked around, tried to find a Waffle House because they're always open. And I would see like some of these places, like these little alcoves or whatever. And they would have spikes on them. And I was like, what the fuck? How's somebody supposed to sit there? And then you would see benches with like armrests like all down them at regular intervals, and it's like, why would you do this? Well, we know why, but you know, because they don't want to see homeless people. They don't want to be reminded of their problems, but they have no problem reminding the quote unquote rabble of their shortcomings and their issues, because apparently they're the only ones who are allowed to not have to deal with their issues, apparently, when that's bullshit. But we will end this show on some good news, because this is something Michelle put in the green room while we were doing this, and
I'm gonna maybe be contrary and say I'm not sure it's actually good. And I'll explain why when you've done the setup.
Yeah, and I'm looking down the thing too, and it's like, oh, the source. I'm noticing the source they're giving is Ian Miles Cheong. Oh, that asshole.
I don't know who that is actually. I just found it on Zen's thing, and I thought, that'd be interesting to talk about.
Well, I have the Shinigami Eyes extension installed on my browser, and
Ooh. Oh, I have shigimi eyes. Yes. Okay. So they flag up, do they?
Oh yeah, he's red as fuck.
I mean, oh wow, that's huh.
But I'm gonna bring this up because even if this is just some sort of false flag, you'll understand why I chuckle at that in a moment. False flag thing or whatever. The idea itself, I don't mind. It could be the intent behind it that could be untoward. So anyways, a brand new pride flag has been created with the aim of being even more inclusive than previous versions. Again, good idea. Let's see if it pans out. The flag, which was created by sex worker rights and PrEP advocate Jason Domino, includes a red umbrella symbol which has been used by sex workers across the globe as a way to remember sex workers who were victims of abuse and violence. Yeah, okay. So this is a pride flag for that's basically including sex workers who are also abuse victims. I'm trying to see how that fits in because the pride flag is for like LGBT and inclusivity in that area too. It's like,
and that's where I had a point of contention.
Yeah. It's like, in the new design, the red umbrella has been superimposed on top of what is known as the progressive pride flag, which incorporates the trans flag's blue, white, and pink stripes and a graduated black and brown stripe to represent LGBT people of color. Which, okay, yeah. So, I would say LGBT sex workers, yeah. Or victims of abuse and violence. It's a little... That's a little word I'm thinking of, I can't think of it. Specific, I guess. Because the rest of the flag is just in general. You don't have to specify that, that LGBTQ plus people, whether they're white or black or what have you, you don't have to say that they have been victims of abuse. It's kind of inferred. But this here, the red umbrella, is specifically for sex workers who are victims of abuse and violence, which everybody else on the flag has too. So it's like, I like the idea of adding in like the sex workers into it because there are very obviously very many LGBTQ plus sex workers out there that that should be included anyway, and maybe the flag without the umbrella. Maybe it's already a case of, well, they're already included. It's like, it's an unspoken inclusion there. But then again, people could have also have said that before for trans people and for people of color as well. So
yeah.
So I am for adding like sex workers, specifically LGBT sex workers, because this is an LGBT pride flag. And according to this screenshot, this is just sex workers in general. There are heterosexual sex workers that are not LGBT. You've even got transphobic sex workers. So it's like, but then again, you also have transphobic trans people too. Hi, Blair White. So it's like, I guess it's kind of the good with the bad on that one. But yeah. I don't know. Like the idea, I like the idea, and even considering the source. Bear in mind, the source that this person got this from was Ian Miles Cheong. So, a little bit of grain of salt. I like the idea. And bear in mind, this is coming from a boring old cishet straight guy. But I like the idea. I like the idea of including sex workers in this. I do. But considering where they got this, where they sourced this from, I'm a little sus that it's not something... That they're not trying to use this as a way to push something more nefarious. But and I could be totally misreading, and I hope I am. I really do hope I am. So, which again, including sex workers, especially specifically LGBT sex workers, LGBT plus, what have you. if you want to make it clear that they are, and if this is the design they're actually going with this one, then by all means, yeah, you won't hear any more negative shit about it from me. I'm just again, considering the source, I'm just wary.
I have thoughts, but Scully, do you want to go first?
Yeah.
Well, okay. Alright, considering, Ian Miles Chong, however you pronounce it, that guy's a shithead, but,
Yeah.
Okay, well, okay. I do appreciate the thought, and, I really do, but, it's just, I'm just thinking from a graphic design and flag design perspective, it's a bit busy,
it's a mess.
Yeah.
It is kind of a mess, especially that gradient. You do not do that in flag design. I mean, I'm not saying you can't, but that's just unheard of.
Because I've not seen the progress flag with a gradient before either.
Yeah,
I'm not necessarily a fan of the progress flag either, and that's, maybe that's my issue, and I'm happy to own that, but. That comes across as a bit busy.
Yeah, the colors.
I get it.
I do get it.
I support it, but again, that could be a me thing.
Yeah. They kind of clash too.
Yeah.
But I do appreciate the sentiment. I'll say that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Looking a little bit more into the account. The account is from Libs of TikTok. And I'm looking a little bit at their bio here, and they have a thing on Gab.
Oh God.
Okay, that's a red flag.
Yeah, it's like, oh no. See, you're hearing us work this through in real time, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm looking through the thread here, and it's like one of them says, "Every day we get closer and closer to this flag," and it's just this mishmash of symbols, like the Star of David, the cross, the power fist, the pentagram, guns, Arabic writing, the Russian scythe and hammer. I'm loving it, which random. A female symbol that's incorporated into the design, and an American flag that's shaped into a Nazi symbol, swastika.
Okay, I do find that flag kind of darkly hilarious, but
yeah.
Yeah, I can't lie. That has actually kind of made me smile in a weird way.
Yeah. And then some asshole was like, "This is my pride flag," and it's just an American flag.
Yeah.
And somebody else is like, "This flag includes everyone." And again, American flag is like, "Really? Does it really? Does it really?"
It doesn't include me.
Yeah.
It's like, hi, you don't include me on that flag, so you're not actually including everyone. And don't forget, hey Google, what proportion of the Earth is the United States of America taking up?
Yeah. No worries, near as much as we think we do.
On the website worldometers.info, they say the United States population is equivalent to 4.25% of the total world population.
4.25% of the...
Yeah.
3 by population, but it's still 4.6 million out of several...
billion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not including everyone.
Yeah. Oh, I'm looking through some of the thread. It's like, prostitute isn't a sexuality. Well,
they're not entirely wrong.
Neither is being black or Hispanic, but they're included because there are black and Hispanic gay people, and bi people, and LGBTQ people. There are LGBTQ plus sex workers.
Yeah.
Also, I forgot to mention that a lot of a ridiculous proportion of trans sex workers are victims of violence.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah.
So really good.
So it's basically okay. So it's basically this idea here. Again, including representation for LGBTQ sex workers. Sure. The idea itself is not bad. Bear in mind my perspective. You know, the inclusivity is not bad. But I have a feeling that this, especially considering the source, was probably made in bad faith to just get people, you know, riled up in a negative way.
Yeah.
Also, what the fuck is Getter? Isn't that?
That's Trump's Twitter.
Ah, there's the last red flag there. So, oh yeah.
I'll admit I didn't go through the entire thread when I looked at it, but
That's okay. It happens.
Okay, so my yes. Okay, so there are sex workers of every gender and orientation, and good for them. Cool. You do you. Stay safe.
Yeah.
And yes, there is a lot of abuse in the industry, and that is not good. And if this flag, the red umbrella symbol, if that is a genuine thing that they use, then that is a thing I didn't know of. And hey, I have now awareness of that symbol, and that is also cool. One, yeah, Scully's right. It's a complete nightmare, aesthetically speaking.
Yeah.
But two, and again, this could be a me thing. I don't know if it needs to all be on there. Like, yeah, support sex workers, look out for their rights, but I think for the most part, for the overall struggle, that, you know, and again, not to dismiss that, you know, abuse and violence can happen to both queer, you know, both sexually queer and gender queer sex workers, but you tend to just think of cis women and they can still be abused, and that's not cool. And you know, if this was a separate thing saying, hey, are you aware that this symbol means this and here's how you can go help or find out more, then I'd be all for it. But it's like, you don't, it's a separate issue. And like, I've always said I'm not a fan of single issue politics. But at the same time, you can mix too many things together.
Yeah.
It's okay to focus on one thing at a time, as long as it's not your entire... Like, if someone was campaigning on just, you know, rights for sex workers, I'd be like, yay, cool, that's a policy I can get up behind. But what else are you about?
Yeah.
But if, like, this is outside of, like, this being a campaign, as an example, like, it is just the thing, like, hey, we're here representing sex workers, here's some information we think you might want to know. Cool, I'll listen, I'll stop and listen. But to add it onto something that already, for some people, is contentious, I don't think it needs to be on there. Like, yeah, you gay and gender fluid, non-conforming, you know, trans sex workers exist.
Yeah.
But as transgender, non-conforming, fluid people, they're already represented. You know, gay and straight sex workers exist, but they are still already represented as gay and straight people.
Yeah.
Gay and lesbian, sorry. So, yeah, I just... as you say, like, going through the thread, all these red flags that are flying up, like, okay, yeah, that makes it even more... And I don't know if skeezy is the right word, but I like the positivity. It's now a thing I'm aware of. Like, I didn't know Red Umbrella meant this, and like, hey, okay, cool, that's the thing I now know about. And maybe you know, like, later on I'll have a closer look and see if there is anything I can do to help. But just to pile it on top of a thing that already can be contentious and is seen as inherently political by some people, it just seems it's like, not poisoning the well, but it's like, it's too much.
Yeah.
I think there's probably there is an expression, like, to be a bit more succinct, but yeah, it's like, I hear you, I see you, but like I said, I'm not always a big fan of the progress flag anyway. It's kind of cool, but you know, if I'm gonna have a flag, I'll just have the straight, you know, the straight rainbow. But yeah, no, I mean, like, I've dated trans. I'm supportive of, you know, BIPIC LGBTQ people, but BIPOC, sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's too much, too busy. It doesn't look thing, and if it turns out it is people like coming from really sus place that isn't like genuine actors, then really fuck it.
Yeah. Again, the idea of inclusivity, good. I'm good for inclusivity. I mean, and to be clear, because somebody's gonna be like, "Well, what about inclusivity of these white supremacists?" There's a limit, but there's limits on most things. So,
to be fair, if the white supremacist does happen to be gay, they're already included.
Yeah, whatever. Which, well, yeah, you're gonna have other issues there, buddy. Yeah. Milo Yiannopoulos, is that you?
Yeah.
But yeah. So, any closing thoughts before we end the show, or?
Unless Scully has something, I do have a dumb joke that we can lighten the mood up again with.
Okay.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay. So I keep asking people what LGBTQ stands for, but I can't get a straight answer.
Ah.
Oh boy.
Oh lordy. Oh. So yeah. Anything else you wanted to add on the flag thing, Scully?
No, I think I covered it.
Okay. So that we are going to get out of here this time, and yeah, hopefully we'll have some more positive news, because I know there's been a lot of heavier, more serious discussions this week. But hey, sometimes some weeks you're going to have that, some weeks are not. I'll try and balance it out a little bit better. Yeah. So yeah, thanks for listening, Michelle. If we wanted to find you on the social media, where could we find you?
You can find me. I have a link tree. It's link.t, link.tr.ee / Phoenix Lovers PHEONIX11, and you can also find me on the Bun Squad Zenith Warrior Princess channel, where they've recently put up the bloopers for all the 1 to 3 story arcs, and I must admit, I found myself laughing at my own gag, my own outtakes more than other people's, but I think that was because of the animation that Phil put with it, because it made it funnier with the expressions he gave Chiaki.
Yeah.
But check that out, because it's fun.
Yay! Scully, where can we find you?
I have a link tree, linktr.ee / Scolipendra.
Sweet! And as for me, you can find all my links at my own link tree, linktr.ee / Gomer21XX. I do want to point out, the Patreon. I know it goes in the mid-roll if you're listening to it, like with everybody else, but I do want to point it out here as well to remind people, hey, if you like what I do, you want to throw money at me, please feel free to do so. Every little bit does help, and the more I get through Patreon, the more I can dedicate time to things like this, things to streaming, without having to worry about, oh god, I need to make sure I don't miss this day for doing Plasma or what have you. Basically, the more money I can get through Patreon, the better off I'm going to be, and the more content I can more consistently create for you guys. So yeah, and of course, for even that just $1 a month, you get stuff early, including stuff that goes up on my TikTok, at least a day early, which of course the stuff that the patrons get that also goes on TikTok has the added benefit of being able to go up on my YouTube channel, go public on my YouTube channel later on. That saved my bacon for at least one TikTok of mine. So yeah. So yeah, there is that. I was going to bring up TikTok, but I kind of already did.
Sorry.
Yeah, and streaming, and like I think I mentioned it at the beginning of the show, the day we're recording this, I'm streaming on Twitch, twitch.tv / Gomer Ranting Thespian, which again, that's also in the link tree if you don't want to try and remember all of that, which is understandable, very understandable. Where I'll be streaming Blaster Master 03 whenever I can. But if you're listening to this the night it goes up, then yeah, you missed it. But there'll be a VOD. So you can always catch it then and see some of the new artwork that Becky has done for me. Yay! So new design, blue hair, all the blue hair, no hat. So yeah. But yeah, with that is going to be it for this time. We will catch you all next time. And until then, this is Gomer the Ranting Thespian with Michelle and Scolipendra signing off.
Bye.
Later.